Welcome to TigerBridge. In this video, we'll demonstrate using TigerBridge for versioning control of files and folders. It delivers continuous data protection that has superior RPO and RTO compared with traditional batch-based backups. Data is protected in real time in the cloud while always remaining accessible to users and applications. The versioning functionality can help in different situations like total loss, which is covered in another video. File version restore, like an undo button, but after closing and saving the file. Timestamp restore, which is specifically useful after attacks that alter a lot of files. You can restore the previous good version of all of them easily. And last but not least, it can be used as a recycle bin even for files that have been permanently deleted. For our demo, we've prepared a machine and we've added one of its local folders as a source in TigerBridge. It contains some files and folders inside. We have entered all the respective information for TigerBridge to be able to sync this folder's contents to the cloud, and it's currently running. There are two important prerequisites for the version and control to work as expected. The first one is that the Keep Replica Versions checkbox should be enabled in the TigerBridge settings. This is currently true. The second prerequisite is for Soft Delete to be enabled in the Azure portal. If we go there right now and enter the respective storage account, we can see that the soft delete is indeed enabled. We have covered the prerequisites, so we can move forward. Let's create a Word file within this directory and add some text inside of it. When we save and close the file, the information is replicated to the cloud, and in a couple of seconds we can see that the file is orange or replicated. The exact time depends on the TigerBridge replication policy configuration. If we right-click on the file and go to the Versions tab, we can see the current and only version. Now we will open it again, like you would normally do when trying to continue your work at a later point in time. We will add some more text and save and close the file once more. Going back to the same Versions tab, we can see the newly created second version of the file along with the first one. We see which of the currently applied version of the file is. It has the green tick on top of it, and if needed, we can restore to the other version by selecting it and clicking the Restore button. Once the version is restored, if we open the same file, we can see that it only has the first portion of the text. It doesn't have the text we entered later. Going back to the properties, we see that the second version is the actual one. The green tick is there. However, the other version is still available as well. You can move back and forth between the versions as many times as needed. If at some point you decide the other version is no longer needed, you can select it and click the Delete button. Let's investigate the versions of another file we have in this folder. This one, for example, has 4 different versions. The latest is the currently active one, but we can change that if needed. Take a note of the different color of the clouds in front of the versions. They can relate to the storage tier that is used in the cloud to store the version. The top 2 use the cool tier and hence are blue. The bottom 2 use the hot tier and are yellow. The tier to be used when versions are created can be changed for the next versions by going back to the TigerBridge configuration and editing the target settings. We can see that most of the files in this folder have been modified just a couple of hours ago. This could happen when a crypto virus attacks the system. We are simulating the crypto virus passing through this folder. If we open this file right now with its current version, we've entered the text encrypted to simulate the encryption. If it was actually encrypted, you wouldn't even be able to open it at all. Now, if we go to the properties and version of this file, TigerBridge makes it easy to revert to the previous good state of the file before the crypto virus attack. We already know how this works, and we can do it. The more interesting feature here is the fact that we can do an analysis on the folder level and revert all of the files to the state before the attack. Right-clicking the folder and selecting Versions there gives you this Analyze Content button, which you can click after selecting a timestamp. If we know we've been hit by the crypto virus attack today, we can enter last night's timestamp and analyze to see how many files have been hit in this folder, with the option to easily recover all of them at once. When you make an analysis on the folder level, TigerBridge gives you some important information. First, it tells you how many files are managed as part of this folder and what their total size is. If the size is too big, restoring a timestamp where all the files have to be changed to a previous version might be a lengthy task. Next, we have the number of versions. That's the total number of all versions of all the files in this folder. You also see information about their total size. Take a note that the size of all versions is bigger than the size of all files, simply because we have files with multiple versions. This tells you how much additional storage space on the cloud is used to store the versions. The newer files are the files that have versions created after the selected timestamp, and the obsolete files are the files that have versions prior to the selected snapshots, when these versions are not the current versions of the file. If we have created the file some time ago and haven't changed it, then the version would not show as obsolete as the last version, even old, is the actual version of the file. If we have created the file some time ago but we have recently edited it after the selected timestamp, then the older version would show as obsolete. For all the versions that show here as obsolete, we have the opportunity to click the Delete Obsolete button and clear up some space on the cloud, which is used to store them. The last option here is different, shows how many of the files will change their versions if we click the Restore Timestamp button. You should not be afraid that you might do something wrong here, as all the versions will still be saved, and if you change some of the files to an undesired version by mistake, you can quickly recover them back again. Even after restore, we can see that although the current version of this file has changed, the encrypted version is still here too. On the folder level, we have the other interesting feature as well that is called Undelete. If we accidentally delete this file here, for example, not simply delete it so it goes to the recycle bin, but permanently delete so it cannot be recovered locally, then we have the option to recover with TigerBridge. Just remember the prerequisites we mentioned for that to work properly, both in TigerBridge and in Azure. We checked our Azure configuration and we know that soft delete is enabled. If we open the contents of the storage container we sync with, we can see the permanently deleted file. If we refresh the screen, the file disappears and would only show if we enable the Show Deleted Blobs setting. Here it is again, still on the cloud, stored in a non-proprietary form, and can be downloaded manually from here or automatically by TigerBridge. For that, we need to go to the folder, right-click it, go into the TigerBridge menu and select Undelete. Going back to the folder shows us the familiar file. It is back together with all its versions, and the current one is the last one used, the one before the simulated encryption. This concludes the demo of showing how TigerBridge can be used for version control with Azure. TigerBridge helps you be better prepared for recovery from different undesired situations. You have full control over all managed files. All their versions are saved and you can restore to each one of them. You don't have just one version each day like it is with traditional scheduled backup solutions. Thank you for viewing.